What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're back on Gran Turismo Sport. I have no idea what I'm going to call this video. This is probably going to be one of those ones where the title and thumbnail changes about 5 times. That's becoming a bit of a meme on my channel, isn't it? But anyway, welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport. This is, I think, the first open lobby I've ever done on the game. And I basically just hijacked a few old friends of mine, Nzl Ryan, DRC Jarad, and Wardenn99. A few guys you might remember from my league racing days back on F1 2018. Very, very fast guys. Some of the fastest guys in the Southern Hemisphere. And we're going to do battle on the Gran Turismo Sport game. So this is entirely new ground for us. We are all F1 plebs and we are venturing off onto this game for a bit of a race. Now, I joined into their lobby and their settings were pretty whack. I think they've got some kind of super strong Slipstream setting on. I don't know how much more effective it is than regular Slipstream, but trust me, it's at least like 2 or 3 times stronger than normal. Someone will have a number to put on it, but I don't know. The Slipstream setting is on strong, whatever that means. But away we go for Bathurst. 15-lap race, which is actually a really long time at Bathurst. This is going to be like a half-an-hour long race at least. We take the lead of the race, which is exactly what you want to see. But straight away, despite Ryan getting a horrific exit out of turn 1, he was already on the back of us because of the Slipstream. So it's going to be a case of jockeying for position, I guess, even going over the top of the mountain, which is a no-go zone in terms of overtaking. Jarad is now up in a second, and it's all over my ass. So it's just going to be a tit-for-tat race kind of thing. So this will be certainly very interesting. I think out of the 4 guys, I feel like I've got the biggest advantage because this was filmed a little while ago, and I recently did do Bathurst on GT Sport and for the FIA races. And I think there was a daily race combo here as well in these cars, so I knew that the GTR was the one to pick because it was pretty handy in a straight line. But as you can see, straight line prowess means absolutely nothing when you've got settings like this on as we go into the chase for the first time. And I think we actually gave Jarad a bit of a touch there. I've noticed that the lag isn't great on GT Sports. There's a bit of a lag bubble, just like F1 2012. That's where the meme originated from. So if I approach these guys into a braking zone, just beware that like on their screen they're getting hit by me and I'm absolutely nowhere near them. You'll see a absolutely horrific example of that later. But anyway, first lap is in the books. We still lead this race. I'm basically the guy at the front of the peloton here, really just helping out everyone behind, and we are going to be a sitting duck as per usual. Going over the top of the mountain, or at least coming down the mountain, I feel like I'm really strong here, despite being in a car that actually isn't that great through the corners. I've just got a really good flow here because of the previous experience that I had anyway. But anyway, here comes Jarad on the Conrod straight, and he actually gives us a bit of a touch there. And I actually appreciated that because that gave me so much more momentum to run side by side through the kink. Absolutely a place you would prefer not to run side by side, to be honest, so we'll try to avoid that if we can. But now I'm starting to get a little bit tactical because we are starting to get to the point where we need to start thinking about pit stops, and there's only 4 laps of fuel remaining, so that'll get us about halfway through the race. And judging by these numbers, it may be a little bit line ball if we can get to the end on just 1 stop. So I'm just giving up my lead at this stage, and I'm just going to sit behind Jarad for a little bit and save some fuel. As you can see, lean mix 6, and well, I don't think I did any short shifting. I think I just used the fuel mix as a method to save fuel. But this was before that. This race was held way before I realized that short shifting was the most effective way to save fuel and make lap time. That I know now, so coming into any future fuel saving race will be a lot better for it. But yeah, we're still saving fuel. This will be a good opportunity to see like how strong the Slipstream is, because we are in the lowest engine mode setting, and normally you're a sitting duck on the straight, but with this Slipstream setting, we're closing up to a Supra. in Lean Mix 6, which, I don't know, it's almost like it's a safety car engine mix, just about. But keeping pace there, which was absolutely amazing. Ryan behind, I didn't know this at the time, but Ryan is actually on medium tyres at this stage, and that's why he hasn't exactly been a threat so far in this early stage. We turn it up to mix 1, and we absolutely blow past the Supra on the mountain straight, and there we go, we're up into the lead of the race once again. Still 11 laps to go in this one, so a lot of racing still yet to continue. We got Wardenn right at the back there on his pad. I believe Ryan is on a pad. I'm not too sure about Jarad, whether he's on a wheel or not, but I am certainly on a wheel. So if that means anything, there you go. But anyway, heading into the chase. Really nice run through there. Jarad is a little bit all over the place. The Supra is a difficult car to drive, to be fair, and it looks like we've actually hit him off. So this was the stage where I was starting to realize that maybe the lag was a bit off in this lobby. So we're going to wait up for everyone, and we're going to let them go back through. Obviously, I want to win, but I do want to have a good race at the same time. It's been like, what, a year since I've raced these guys? So we'll see if we can get back through them again. It's only a bit of fun anyway, but I think we are all pretty competitive. We all want to win. We now have a bit of wheel-to-wheel experience with Wardenn once again. You can see he's got his hazards on, which at Bathurst is a pretty good thing to have. You know, Bathurst, just racing around here in itself is a bit of a hazard. I can't believe people back in the 50s, or 60s, thought that racing around here would be a good idea. This was a tourist road, and they thought, why not? Let's go racing here. And the rest is history. I'm really glad that they decided to do that in the end. One of the few old school circuits left in the world. And I really hope they don't change it. There was a bit of calls about changing things after, you know, the weekend that was the Bathurst 12 hour. A lot of big shunts, big crashes. But hopefully it doesn't change for the worse. Because you'd hate to see Bathurst lose its character. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. We're in the Slipstream, we're in Mix 1. We're going to find out just how strong this GTR is in a triple Slipstream. 3 wide for those guys. We're going to disregard all of that and nearly shoot our way into the lead of the race. We've actually given Wardenn a bit of a punt there. That was a legitimate punt, that one. Side by side at the kink. Doesn't really work too well, does it? And so we're going to be nice. We're going to wait out for Wardenn. I don't know if the other guys are going to wait up. Hopefully they do, and we can resume this race once more. Hopefully this will be the last. Oh no, maybe after we let Ryan go back through. Oh my god, that was the horrific example of lag bubble, by the way. I cleared him. I was fully to the left, but on Wardenn's screen he got absolutely shunted by me. Anyway, we've all reset now. Hopefully this is the last time we have to wait up for each other and we can race to the end. I can tell you that this is the last time, and if there is any mistakes coming from me now, we're going to be up a particular creek without a paddle. You can see me there in the chat saying lag and stuff. But yeah, we're coming to the pit stop phase. We've got 1.7 laps worth of fuel left. I believe Wardenn has been the worst in terms of fuel efficiency. I don't think he's been saving any fuel, so he dives in a lap early. I might even be able to stretch this for another 2 laps, because you can see I was near enough to 2 laps left of fuel. Wardenn switches to the mediums. I've got 1.1 laps worth of fuel left. The other 2 guys haven't been saving as much as me, so they have to dive in on lap 8. But we're going to stretch it that 1 lap more. So there you can see confirmation. Ryan was on the mediums and was at a pretty similar level of fuel to me, but maybe he had slightly less. But just in the sake of not risking it, probably a good idea to make the switch onto a new set of tyres, especially given that Ryan is going to be going onto the softs now for this next stint. But yeah, for me, I wasn't sure about the regulations, so I just thought I'd play it safe, go onto the medium tyre. I was basically following what Wardenn was doing, because he went onto the mediums 2 laps prior. But this is an open lobby, this is an FIA, this isn't a daily race, where, you know, regulations must be met. And so I should have known, really. Jarad has gone from the softs onto the softs again. and I've switched to the mediums, and the mediums are very much slower than the softs, probably like a second a lap slower. I run wide at turn 2, and that was my race. I lost Slipstream for the rest of it, and the other guys were just cruising off into the distance. So that was a very fun second half of the race for me, 7 seconds off. And yeah, fair play to Ryan in the end for managing to stick with us on mediums at the start of that race. Bravo. We move on to Austria now. And I was very much a slow boy in this one. I certainly had the advantage in Bathurst for the pure reason that I've done quite a few races on GT Sport recently prior to this recording that you're seeing. But Austria don't have that much experience with GT3 cars around here. I did a FIA race around here in GT4 in an Audi TT, but this is a completely different experience. And in qualifying, I was, the slowest out of the 4 of us. I think from Ryan to Wardenn to me, I think it was pretty close. I think it was like a tenth or two separating all of us. And then there was a bigger gap to Jarad in the lead. So he was quite a pacey boy in qualifying. But in the race, hopefully things are a little bit more close. As you can see, Ryan goes for a bit of a dive on Jarad at turn 4. I kind of follow Ryan in there a little bit deep, and Wardenn gets back through for the podium. So yeah, we'll see how this race goes. By the way, we have turned off the stupidly OP Slipstream. So hopefully now we can have a bit more of a fair race. I mean, to be honest, we do all know Austria fairly well. And this will be a good indication of who is the king of the castle on Gran Turismo Sport. Up the inside of Wardenn, we go into the penultimate corner and we get up into P3. The Audi R8 is a pretty good car. Not so good on its tyres, which is something we may need to watch out for later. But this car really is good at high speed, especially in that middle sector. So that'll be an area we'll have to watch out for as an overtaking zone for us. In terms of straight line speed, I think Jarad has got the best car, being in the Supra. His car is a little bit wild though, so he'll be struggling at the back end of this stint a little bit more than what I will. Not too sure about the BMW, to be honest. You guys will have to let me know on that. And I think the McLaren is a decent all-rounder, I guess. So we'll just see how it all plays out for us. As you can see, Wardenn getting his way up into P2. We're going to see if we can get past Ryan as well, as he looks to be a little bit shaken by that overtake. Shaken but not stirred. 1 minute 30.4, which is still not the fastest lap of the race. We're a good 5/10 away from that, which is being set by Wardenn at this stage. So it looks like he's getting stronger and stronger as the race goes on. So fair play to him. But we got the inside of Ryan now, setting a purple middle sector, and we are through just about onto the podium now. So let's see if we can close up to this next couple of cars. Hopefully they'll battle and lose a bit of time. They certainly will if Jarad continues to spin out like that. That's us up in a P2. Ryan is on our right-hand side, so he looks like he's got a good run and might potentially get us into the next right-hander. Or will he? We've left the door open. I've run wide. Ryan's still not through. Okay, that was very, very lucky for us. Let's see if we can hopefully close up to Wardenn coming up to the pit stop phase. But here's the replay of what happened to Jarad. A little bit of a touch from Wardenn, and I don't know if that was the cause or whether just Jarad just tried to maintain too much speed. I'm not too sure. But anyway, he spun out, and I think he had to go anyway, so he is out of here in this race. So it's pit stop time now, and you can see Wardenn has got a lot less fuel on board than what I do. I put in the recommended amount of fuel to get to the end, but Wardenn has actually filled his car up from empty to 100%, and so he definitely was stationary in the pit lane a lot longer than what I was. He actually got his lead out to about 3, 4, 5 seconds. My last few laps on that first set of tires were really bad. Like the rears were going off a lot. I was sliding, I was drifting everywhere, and to be honest, I'm very lucky to still be in the battle here with these three, as it looks to be kicking off now in this final 5 laps. What I have done is I've moved the brake bias more towards the front, just to look after the rear tires for later on in the race, and hopefully That'll give us a bit better pace as well. Because even on new tyres, I was sliding around a lot. Maybe over-rotating the car. And that was probably costing me a little bit of time. But we'll see how it goes for the final 5 laps. Ryan looks pretty strong here at the start of the stint. So maybe Wardenn's car is good on tyres, or Wardenn is good on tyres. I'm not too sure. But anyway, you can see Ryan going for a move up at turn 3. Pretty clean. Just about, if you excuse the fact that Wardenn has gone off. It's all in good fun. To be honest, it's been a lot cleaner than what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be a little bit more dirty. We are all mates in the end, so we're not gonna, I don't know. It's different when you race your mate. Sometimes you just go for a silly dive bomb or barge someone out of the way. But so far, like in terms of our standards, it's been pretty civil, to be honest. We'll see how that changes in the final couple of laps. But yeah, this is a tasty little battle that's emerging now. We can see we're going for a little dive here on Wardenn. Here at turn 4, he does turn across us, but to be fair, I would do exactly the same thing. And it's going to be side by side as we fight over the wooden spoon here. It's a fine line between winning the race and getting the wooden spoon. I guess that's what you come to expect when a race, it's only being contested by 3 people. It's the Piston Cup from Cars, the finale between, what's his name? Lightning McQueen, Chick Hicks, and, I don't know what the other guy is. The old geezer in a big blue looking car with a huge rear wing. I don't know his name, but everyone in the comments will know his name. Anyway, it's the showdown of the ages between all the oceanic plebs. We've got 2 laps left in this Austrian Grand Prix. Ryan has gone for a massive slide at turn 1. That's exactly what was happening to me in the first stint. Maybe Ryan hasn't got a forwards brake bias, and he's probably suffering a little bit more with that. That'll just come with a bit more experience on GT Sport. But Wardenn is up the inside at turn 3. Gets the move done. Ryan goes for the switchback though, and he loses the back end though. So Ty's really starting to go off at this stage. Thankfully for Ryan's sake, he hasn't lost too much time. But that could cost him the race, potentially. Fast forwarding here on this penultimate lap, you can see I'm just doing my best to close in on Wardenn. We're actually going purple here on this penultimate lap, so the Slipstream certainly aiding us in getting us that fastest lap. Let's see if we can convert as we go through the final couple of corners. Track limits are just not a thing in this lobby, it seems. We've been all over the place. We've been to Germany and back on our adventures around this circuit. That is the fastest lap of the race. We head on to the last lap of the race. Let's see if we can set up this move on Wardenn. He ran a little bit wide at turn 1, so exit speed not great for him. We're in the Slipstream, going up the hill. It's certainly going to work pretty well for us here. Wardenn's got the hazards on again. Will there be a hazard at turn 3? He defends to the inside. We're going to switch to the outside. Late under brakes. We're going to do the switchback, and that is us up into the lead. I think for the first time in this Austrian Grand Prix. Now, we just need to defend for half a lap to hold on to this. We threw it away in FIA. We are not throwing it away today. Here's the replay. And this, I think, is one of my best moves on Gran Turismo Sport. Just throwing it out there. Doing it with 300 ping to the other guys in the lobby. Wardenn goes in deep. I kind of had a feeling he'd go in deep, and so I just did the cutback, and it worked perfectly. So now we just need to hold on. Hopefully there's no savage lunge. Oh, yeah, here it comes. Here comes Wardenn. Oh, you idiot! Oh, well. Looks like they're waiting up for us. And we can resume the battle for what'll be the final third of the lap. So let's see how this unfolds. It's now descending into anarchy. Now over second place. I've got a bit of a gap. I don't think I'm going to lose it now. You can see Ryan runs out wide onto the gravel. And then these two just cannon off each other. And I think that's going to be GG. Checkmate in this race. We're low on fuel. It's going to be fine though. We're going to come through and win the race. I think we might do some burnouts here just to close out this one. But what a fun little race. It's I certainly didn't expect this result after qualifying. I felt pretty slow, but we made a couple of changes. Brake bias, I think, certainly helped. And that is going to be the win of the Austrian Grand Prix. Doing a Nigel Mansell. You know, winning by the smallest possible margin. And there we go. That is a fun couple of races on Gran Turismo Sport. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more racing game content. I had a lot of fun just racing with these guys out of the blue. If you want to see more of this stuff, let me know. And I can certainly get that arranged. I have started to delve more into open lobby stuff. And you'll see an open lobby very soon where I raced Fiat 500s. I know it sounds like a horrific video, but it's actually so much fun because the cars are horrific to drive, they're horrifically slow, and we did an oval race with strong slipstream, and it kicked off. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you next time.